Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? And welcome to a Wednesday night stream. Should be a good one, man. Lots to get into, lots to talk about. I'm already chilling in the tower. Hope you all are doing well. Should be a real good one. Jose the Boss, welcome back to the Nerdvengers, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. How you guys doing? Lots to get into, man. By the way, did the watch party get blocked last night? I'm pretty sure it did not, right? Pretty sure we're good on that. Double check a thing right quick. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure it's okay. Okay, cool. Cool. So, guys, we got a lot to get into. The only thing I want to say right off the bat, especially if you're a Nerdvenger member, we will be having a stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. That's when the Nerdvenger stream is going down this week. And we're going to be playing Marvel Snap. And I'm going to be offering up prizes to people that play Marvel Snap. So you guys will get the chance to play me. And if you win, you get a prize. And we'll ship it out. And I promise we'll ship it out faster than all the other prizes, which are taking forever. My bad. So look out for that tomorrow. Also on Saturday, we're going to be watching some cartoons. So at 10 a.m. in the morning, Saturday, we're going to be doing another Nerdvenger stream. Lots of streams for members this week. And we'll be breaking down some Mandalorian stuff, man. I want to go back to Clone Wars. I want to go back to Rebels. We're going to go deep on some Mandalorian stuff because I'm personally loving the Mandalorian Season 2. And I just kind of want to get deep into the Mando stuff because the way I see it going with Mandalorian, we're definitely going to be getting some, I think, a new person on the throne, a new age for the Mandalorians, all of that sort of stuff. Season 3, yes. Are streaming times just random these days? No. So on days when we're doing watch parties, we stream Wednesdays at 6. We've been doing that for a while. And in fact, we were trying to put in some Wednesday streams at 6 just in general because for some people, they can't make the morning streams. So it's it's much more cool for them to actually be able to get in to the stream at the evening. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say for Nerdventure members. Again, come on by tomorrow. I think it's going to be a really good members stream. Yo, I want to ask you guys something because I want to gush about The Mandalorian for a little bit. I want to gush about Bad Batch because I really think Star Wars just brought it last night, and they have some incredible episodes of their television shows. But I'm sort of at this weird place with Mando, and as I look out on the internet and I look around and I'm trying to figure out how is the show doing, which we won't get full numbers for some time, I'm wondering what you guys think. Number one, I guess the first question that I want to know is are you guys staying up to watch The Mandalorian? Or Bad Batch? Or when are you watching these episodes? Are you staying up? Some of y'all are because I recognize you from the watch parties, but some people are not. Yeah. I think Shadow Realm BG, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now, man. Thanks for the support. At the earliest 8 a.m. Can't. Yeah, I am because I have sleep apnea. Damn. When I get off work, I wake up early, watch them before work at 5 a.m. Okay. Well, a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people watch them before work, huh? Work. Yeah, later. Breakfast in Mando. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Because I've just noticed, and I think it kind of makes sense, but I've just noticed not as many people, at least it seems like not as many people are watching. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it just seems like there's not as many people watching right then and there. And I'm really curious as to how the show is doing. It's really hard to say, But like when I woke up this morning, I didn't feel like it was trending, first of all, at all. And this really weird thing happened to me, and I can't tell if it's just like Twitter being broken, but so I made this tweet about it where I was like, dude, like where's the trending for The Mandalorian, right? And like right after I hit tweet, like it popped up in my sidebar as at least trending for me, which isn't true trending, but it's like a version of it, so it's fine. And I was like, that's so weird. Like now I see it, and it was Bo-Katan, and it was a little bit of Mandalorian. But if I'm being honest with you guys, it looked like Bad Batch was actually trending a little bit higher than even Mando. And I was like, where's the discussion about The Mandalorian? And I remember back to like when season 2 was dropping, like it took over social media. Like it took over social media, right? And I had this thought last night when we were live and I was talking about this with you guys. I was like, man, I wonder if season 2 of The Mandalorian was just a completely unique time that maybe will never replicate again. You know what I mean? Because Mando 2 happened, everybody was still, like a lot of people were still like not back at work, you know, in some version of lockdown. And it seemed like that show was just so hyped up and people were so into it. And I kind of wonder if it'll ever get back to that place. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. I would hate to like, cause like regardless of how the show's performing, I'm a big fan of it. Like I loved last night's episode. I'm really excited for what comes next. It's just, I think it's like, it's the best. It's the best Star Wars, I think. The best live-action Star Wars show that they've done. But I can't help but have this feeling that not all fans are feeling that way. That Mando this season is a little less hype. Like, for real, it seems like it's a little less hype. And I wonder... Like, I've seen some of the conversations, you know, comparing it to Andor. I've seen some people even saying, like, oh, like, after Andor, I just can't seem to get into The Mandalorian or whatever. And even on Monday, man, when we were doing Nerd Theory, and it was me, Mark, and Theory, you know, I had this comment because it felt like they were, you know, when they were getting into Puppet Gate and getting all triggered by the puppets, I had a feeling of like, what's going on? Like, this just is Star Wars. And my takeaway, and I even said this, was that I feel like Star Wars from last year and just Star Wars in general has been so just rough for fans that fans are just extra fucking critical, dude. Like, extra critical, man. And, you know, I think Mark even acknowledged that that's probably the case, and that's probably true for him. And man, I'm at this spot, guys, where like I'm so happy that Mandalorian is good. I'm so happy that Bad Batch is good. I'm really excited for Ahsoka. But I also kind of have this feeling, and I can't tell if it's just like a sort of negative thing for me that I can't shake, or if like there is a disturbance in the Force. And I feel like Star Wars, it might be in like a really weird spot as far as its ability to reach a lot of people, you know? So it would be tragic, right? Like it would be tragic if the numbers come out for Mando and we're like, damn, this is underperforming the other 2 seasons. And what, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's going to be such a bummer, bro. And like, for me as a Star Wars fan, like real talk, like what it has felt to me is like last year, I just got punched in the nuts over and over again. And now like I'm actually getting the stuff that I want. And I'm so hyped, and I'm like showing back up, like ready to go. Like I'm ready to do my part and like excited and shit. And it seems like there's way less people out there that are lining up next to me. Way less people out there that are like, yeah, dude, let's go. Let's get it. I don't know. Just a trepidatious feeling, perhaps. But we'll have to wait and see how it all goes down with that. But let's gush about the episode a little bit. Did y'all see the episode? If you did, put into the chat, what's your score for episode 2 out of 10? What would you give episode 2 on a scale from 1 to 10? Let me know. And if you didn't watch the episode, just put didn't watch in there too, because I want to know how many people didn't watch too. 9s, 8s. Dang, slow down. Yeah, wow, a lot of good scores, huh? Lots of good scores, a lot of 8s, 10s, hard 9, 8, 9, 5, a couple of 10s even. Yeah, people really, really liked it. Didn't watch it, haven't watched it. Okay, gotcha. So there's a good bit of didn't watch, yo. I mean, there's a good bit of didn't watch, right? Kind of interesting, huh? All right, so should I try not to spoil then for all of you that haven't watched it? I might have to talk just a little bit of spoilers for just a second. Just a little bit. Are we playing pickleball this weekend? Absolutely, dude. Nah, spoil away. Let's get into it. Okay, cool. So I thought the episode was really tight. It focuses obviously on like Din actually getting into Mandalore, and man, the visuals for Mandalore were so cool. The like constant storm thing that's like surrounding the planet that they have to like go through. Oh, I loved those shots, man. When Mando does it, it's so cool. When Bo does it, it's so cool. I was like, that is such a awesome design for it. And then of course the destruction of the planet itself. I wish maybe we lingered a little bit on that, a little bit more establishing shots here and there, but it's really cool. It's really well done. And then, you know, getting into like the cavern and like going down there was really interesting. And of course they spell out that Din is just not good with that Darksaber, dude. Like, he's just not good with that Darksaber. And it seems like he's gotten worse and worse with it. Like, because he was kind of nice with it at the end of season 2, right? Like, if you think about it, like, he was kind of nice with it. He cuts Gideon. He cuts Gideon up pretty good. In fact, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I would say it's kind of interesting that it seems like Din Djarin got really, really shitty with the Darksaber almost immediately following a rumored falling out between Pedro Pascal and Jon Favreau and all that sort of stuff. It's just kind of interesting. You know? Like, we don't, you know, obviously we don't know, like, what's going on. But it seems so wild to me that in the season, between the seasons, after a rumored situation, all of a sudden the character sucks ass. He can't even lift the thing. It's kind of funny. But yeah, like, for real, he's just not good with it, right? He's not good with it. And then we get Bo coming to save the day. And she saves his life twice, bro. Not once, but twice in the episode, right? And so she rolls up to Mando. And the thing is, I really like Bo. Like, I can't deny it. Like, I really like Bo-Katan. I love the way she's presented in the show. It's so cool. Just having all the connections from, like, Rebels into Star Wars and all of that. Katie Sackhoff is killing it. So it's almost like I can't really complain, right? But, like, she comes in and kind of steals the shine a little bit. And, like, does her thing. And, like, her with the Darksaber, dude? Bo-Katan with the Darksaber? People on Twitter were calling him a Denzel in distress. I mean, a little bit he is, yeah. He's basically a Disney princess, you know. But, you know, Bo comes in, dude, and with that crazy shield thing, too. She's got, like, the Captain America shield and the Darksaber. She's pretty nice with it, too. Like, when she was cutting up the thing, dude, she, like, does that slide move kind of thing. You know, taking the legs out correctly. Like, it's actually a really well choreographed fight. And she's real nice with it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting that they have all of that in the episode, but again, it's just so well done. I can't really deny it. And then like Din wakes up after his like blood's getting sucked out, and he's like, no, like I've got to go do my bath still. I gotta do my bath, you know? And she's like, you need to rest. And he's like, no, I gotta do my bath. Scrub-a-dub-dub. You know? And so then they get down there and he does the bath, and she's all like, you know, this used to be the lair of the Mythosaurs. You know, just kind of throwing that out there. I thought that's all we were gonna get. I did not anticipate actual little sneak peek at the Mythosaur. That's crazy. Like, wow. Okay. So we're just kind of going for it, but I like it. I mean, the creature looked great. It was really interesting, like the choices that they made to get us in front of this thing. It's interesting that it's Bo that sees it. Din gets taken by it, but isn't destroyed by it. It's pretty interesting, man. So, and I was saying this yesterday, but I think originally I thought Din would be this major catalyst to get all of the Mandalorians onto Mandalore. But now it seems like the Mythosaur, the existence of it, and the fact that the planet, obviously, you can breathe on it, it feels like that's what's going to get people back there, you know? I like it, dude. I'm into it. I think it's fantastic. It's so good. It's so good, dude. Like, it was crazy. I was like, oh man, this is crazy. And I frankly can't believe more people aren't freaking out about it. Feels like the tweeters should be like all just all about that Mythosaur. Mythosaur! It's crazy. So then, basically what happened, I woke up and I was like working on my breakdown, and I was like so excited, and I was like, man, why aren't more people talking about this on Twitter? And some people told me, they were like, well, it's because Bad Batch was that nice. And then I started seeing some outlandish shit about how the Bad Batch episode was even better than what I considered to be a pretty damn good episode of The Mandalorian. And so I was like, okay, like let's check it out. And usually I watch the shit with Elisa. I was so intrigued by how much buzz there was for Bad Batch, I flipped it on. I was like, I'll just watch it with her later and pretend I didn't see it or something, you know? So I sat back and watched it, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, it might have been better, dude. Like, it legit might have been better, dude. They've really got something with Crosshair in this season. Because the other Crosshair episode with... it's not Cody, right? Or is it Cody? Yeah, I think it is Cody. The other episode with Crosshairs was mind-blowing. It's one of my favorite animated Star Wars episodes ever. Yeah, too bad Crosshair only shows up once a month. Fair. Yeah, so, dude, this episode was incredible. Like, they really have something with that character and what they're putting that character through, and this whole look at the Empire as they're, like, saying goodbye to the clones. It's a brilliant decision on the part of the writers for the show to focus on that element in the way that they are in Season 2. Bad Batch isn't perfect. There's a lot of, like, ups and downs with it, but as I was watching it, I was like, dude, it's so good, and it's so Star Wars in a way that I think just almost everything else that we got live action last year was not. It was really good. It was really good. And so yesterday was like a day of, or I guess yesterday and today, a huge day of dubs for Star Wars. Like, absolutely incredible stuff. And I just wonder, man, if there's... Like, okay, so we're... Enough with the sunshine and rainbows. Let's get fucking real about this shit. And let's get into what happened yesterday with the news about the movies. Okay? Let me get this set up here. Hang on. Enough happy-go-lucky. No more fun times. Wow. This scene's a little janky. Why is it so janky like that? Why am I disappearing into the screen? I don't get it. Oh, well. Okay, so let's talk about the news that dropped yesterday, and let's just talk about the state of Star Wars and, like, you know, where we're at. Now, this article came out in Variety. I saw it when the guy tweeted about it. And as we always say over here, and as I like to kind of keep everybody informed about, the Hollywood trades are a particular, like, institution that works so closely with the studios that it's not only the case that when something is published in the trades, we consider it to be like 99.9% accurate. They're not 100%, but pretty close to it. But also, there's a layer here where you have to think about, why is this in the trades? And you sort of decipher from the information, like, what's possibly going on. What is the narrative that the studios are hoping people pick up on, right? So, I mean, we can read right through this article. It's a little bit of a lengthy one. Here, we'll just get into it. Maybe I'll skip around. So, it says here, when Jon Favreau stepped onto the red carpet for Season 3 premiere of The Mandalorian on February 28th, the Disney Plus show creator and executive producer was feeling nostalgic. It's been a while since we've all been together here like this, Favreau told Variety, evoking the November 2019 premiere for the launch of the show and of Disney Plus itself. It was before the first episode aired. That's true, because they didn't do any of that, I think, for Season 2. At the time, The Mandalorian was a scrappy little land speeder in the vast Star Wars galaxy, nipping at the heels of The Rise of Skywalker, the culminating feature film of director J.J. Abrams that was expected just a month later to obliterate the box office like a cinematic Death Star. Instead, The Mandalorian became a global sensation thanks to the incandescent cuteness of Baby Yoda, blasting Disney Plus into lightspeed with 26.5 million subscribers in its first weeks. It's true. The Rise of Skywalker, on the other hand, imploded in spectacular fashion. The film earned just half the gross of 2015's The Force Awakens, and the widespread scorn of fans and Star Wars movie development has been stuck in the bogs of Dagobah ever since. Oh, no. Whereas Disney Plus boasts a robust fleet of live-action Star Wars series, 3 streamed in 2022 alone. They were all butthole. Not a single Star Wars movie has received a green light, let alone gone into production. Jesus, dude. Not a single Star Wars movie has received a green light, let alone gone into production. The earliest of film is scheduled to debut in theaters is December 2025, 6 years after The Rise of Skywalker. 6 years. 6 years after The Rise of Skywalker. And the irony is they asked for a 3-year break. They were going to take a 3-year break, right? It's pretty wild. 6 years after The Rise of Skywalker. Wow. It's not for want of trying. In December 2020, Lucasfilm chief Kathleen Kennedy announced that Wonder Woman helmer Patty Jenkins would direct the next Star Wars movie, the one-off adventure Rogue Squadron, which, by the way, we're now pretty damn sure was going to be a post-sequel film. More on that in a minute. But in September 2022, Disney pulled the title from its scheduled December 2023 release, and sources with knowledge of the production say it is no longer in active development at the studio. A rep for Lucasfilm did not respond to a request for comment. In December, Jenkins said in a statement that she was still developing Rogue Squadron, but I don't know if it will happen or not. And I said then, and I'll say it now, that shit ain't happening, bruh. You know, like maybe in some crazy scenario, it could, like what that was, that entire statement from Patty was to try to save face. Because she essentially got fired from Star Wars. Okay? Like, that's what it is. She got fired. Like, creative differences and Kathleen Kennedy drops the ball. Maybe it's on her. Maybe it's Patty doesn't want to play or whatever. Regardless, no more Star Wars. So then there's Wonder Woman 3, which, you know, I don't know. I guess people were looking forward to, right? The first Wonder Woman's pretty good. The second Wonder Woman's poo-poo. But this was at a time when James Gunn and all these rumors and everybody like getting fired. Everybody goes in to have their meeting with James and then they go do their thing on social media, like Henry Cavill, like The Rock, like Patty. It just seemed like that was the way things were going. And I think that Patty at the time was just trying to save face. You know, because she had essentially massive stories out there about how she lost these incredibly good gigs. Right? She lost Star Wars. She lost Wonder Woman 3. I mean, those are L's. Those are big L's. Big old L's. Like, look at the size of those L's. Like, oh, be respectful. You know, like big L's. And so I think she's just trying to save face. But it's not in development. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not in development. Meanwhile, Variety has learned that a possible Star Wars feature produced by Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige is also no longer in active development at Lucasfilm. When news of Feige's involvement with a Star Wars film broke in September 2019, it churned up fan speculation, since widely debunked, that he was in line to replace Kathleen as the leader of Lucasfilm. The movie remained alive as recently as May 2022, and screenwriter Michael Waldron, Doctor Strange of the Multiverse Madness, told Variety he started working on Star Wars screenplay for Feige. I'm enjoying having the freedom to do something that's not necessarily a sequel or anything. 5 months later, Feige hired Waldron to write the script for the 2026, probably 2027, maybe even 2028 Avengers Secret Wars, the endgame style culmination of Marvel Studios' multiverse saga. Between the project and 19 other titles, and counting the Marvel announcement for theaters and streaming in the next 4 years, Feige's responsibility to the MCU are keeping him far, far away from Star Wars for much of the decade. Okay, a couple of things in here we got to speculate about. So I think it's so wild, by the way, that they're talking about rumors of Kathleen Kennedy being replaced by Kevin Feige. I remember people like me talking about that. I definitely remember a lot of fans being hopeful for that or like throwing that out there, but I don't know that it was ever actually established as a rumor from any legitimate source or from the trades. But strangely, what I heard after that was, and this, by the way, like someday, guys, we're going to get all the tea on like what Kathleen Kennedy did for her tenure as the president of Lucasfilm. For now, it's all rumors, you know, speculation, take it with a grain of salt, etc., etc. But someday we'll get the receipts, I think. And the crazy thing that I heard was at some point Feige, or rather, Kathy flipped on the Feige thing based completely on the fact that she didn't want to get upscaled by this guy, and based on the fact that there were all these rumors that she was going to be replaced by him. Like, I heard that from some fairly reliable people. That's crazy, dude. So if that was true, then this had been dead for a long, long time. And I think even around the time, you guys remind me if you remember, or just let me know if you remember this. When Michael Waldron made those comments about the Star Wars movie, I'm pretty sure I told you guys then, that's probably Feige and his camp using the trades and the interviews to sort of put the pressure on Lucasfilm to make it seem like the ball was in their court, which is exactly what Patty Jenkins did as well, right? When she went out and made her statements on social media, she was essentially being like, yeah, I'm open to it. So if it doesn't happen, it's on Lucasfilm. Yeah. So, I mean, look, there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of like confusion as to how this was going down. And I also found out a couple of weeks ago from some pretty good sources that like, nah, Feige's film's not happening, which I think makes sense because it's absolutely correct that they mention this in the article that like Feige has a lot of work to do. Like, yo, I got a big video coming out tomorrow about just a shit ton of crazy Marvel rumors. And the general thesis or theme of those rumors is everything's delayed, everything's changing. And, you know, on Monday, I feel like we were, I feel like for me personally, I feel like I was a little too negative on Monday because we were talking about Quantum Mania, we were talking about Jeff Loveness, and I am certainly in the camp that Marvel's got some fixing to do. You know what I mean? Certainly in that camp. But it's true, and it's probably a good thing that he's not going to be doing Star Wars. I mean, can you imagine at this point if Marvel was left in the current state that it's in and he went and did a Star Wars movie and it was a banger? Oh my God, I would be so conflicted. Like, holy shit. I would be so conflicted if that happened. Okay, so let's keep going in the article. But yeah, that's kind of a bummer. A lot of people were talking about this because it broke on social yesterday. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer. So here they say, as for Rian Johnson, the in-demand filmmaker has made no secret that he still wants to make the Star Wars movie he first announced in 2017 before the release of his film, The Last Jedi. And Kennedy has been clear that Lucasfilm still wants him too. But Johnson's immediate priority is continuing his Benoit Blanc movies with Daniel Craig for Netflix, and season 2 of his Peacock series, Poker Face, will keep him occupied for the foreseeable future. That's weird. Because it's sort of weird that they even mention Ryan, you know? And again, like, this is stuff that, like, if the studio wanted to, they could just take it out, right? They could call them and be like, nah, take that shit out. But they're comfortable with it being in there, and there could be a couple of things going on. Maybe they're still trying to gauge the reaction and see how people feel about it. Maybe they really want to work with him, and they're putting a little bit of the pressure on Johnson. Like, if you read between the lines here, they could be trying to make a statement that is essentially like, he said he wants to do it. We want him to do it, but he's so busy, you know, it's kind of on him. Like a little bit of, you have to ask Donald Glover about it, so to speak. So it's interesting. I don't think, like, for the longest time, guys, I've thought to myself, they would be absolutely insane, like brain coming out of their nostrils into their salad bowl if they did that. But it's Lucasfilm, the holder of L's. So, we'll see. Okay. So they go on to say, so what Star Wars movie could slot into that open December 2025 release date? Sources say Love and Thunder filmmaker Taika Waititi continues to work on his possible Star Wars feature and would most likely have a part in it as well. Similar in prominence to his standout role as an imaginary Adolf Hitler in his Oscar-winning 2019 feature, Jojo Rabbit. And although Lucasfilm is yet to officially confirm it, sources say the studio is committed to a Star Wars movie from director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, the two-time Oscar-winning documentarian. They were short documentaries, but yeah, give her the flowers. She got the Oscars. Who made her live-action narrative debut with Miss Marvel for Disney+. Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson were attached in October to write the script for that movie. And this is why we can't have fucking nice things. Okay? This is why even in a week where the Mandalorian episode is absolutely incredible and Bad Batch slaps hard, we can't have nice things. Are you kidding me? Hot off of Thor Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi gonna do a Star Wars movie that he'll also star in. Bro, what the fuck are they thinking, dude? And you know what? Here's the thing that I'll say, though. I saw a lot of hate for this on social media. Like, a lot of hate for this. And sometimes they put stuff out there like this just to see what the fan reactions are. Okay? But this is now the second trade article to mention Taika Waititi's movie still being in development. There was one just a couple of weeks ago. I made a video on it. If the trades are continuing to mention Taika Waititi and his Star Wars movie, it means it's real. It means it's real. It means they are absolutely working on it. Now, it's Lucasfilm, so they could cancel it tomorrow. Hell, they could cancel it with 2 weeks left of principal photography. But for now, it seems real. And so, like, their genius idea, like the future they want to do with Star Wars is Taika Waititi hot off of Love and Thunder, maybe starring in it. And then they have the Lindelof written, Miss Marvel directed sequel movie. Oh my God. Let's keep reading. Whether one of those films or some as yet unannounced project lands in the front lines has been a fiercely guarded secret at Lucasfilm. But sources say the studio will begin to unveil its plans for the future Star Wars cinema at Star Wars Celebration Convention in London on the weekend of April 7th. That announcement, however, will compete with expected updates for at least 4 Disney Plus shows. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Man. I know, right? I'll kill your mythos, baby. I'll kill your mythos in a minute or whatever he said. Oh, God, bro. Man. So, needless to say, that's a frustrating update for multiple reasons. I mean, first of all, there was maybe some hope that we were actually going to get Patty's Rogue Squadron. I mean, she was at least talking about it. You know? So, she was at least talking about it after the whole Wonder Woman 3 thing happened. And then there was hope of a Feige Star Wars, which, like, just last year when talking about Multiverse of Madness, they sort of put a feeler out there, and he's talking about writing the script for the Star Wars movie. There was hope. I think there was personally hope that Taika wasn't going to do Star Wars because we were all pretty sure, like, yo, people really didn't like Love and Thunder. The sentiment on Taika's way down. They have to be able to understand that that's not what people want, and yet all of that stuff is going like the opposite way. It's all going the opposite way. Nothing is coming up Millhouse. Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable, bro. So as far as 2025 is concerned, you're either going to get a Taika Waititi movie, Star Wars, or you're going to get the Damon Lindelof Miss Marvel sequel movie. So, I mean, it's just tough, bro. Like, it's like, it is legitimately tough as a Star Wars fan to even be excited when they're even doing good shit. You know, something else that happened, man? They're getting sued right now. Did you know they're getting sued? It's crazy. Via deadline. Should we read through this shit? Should we read? Should we keep going on this? Should y'all want me to read this? I almost don't want to. Emotional damage. Yeah, I almost don't want to. It's not good. Exclusive. There is a disturbance in the Force. On the same day it became public that Star Wars projects from Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins are now dormant, Lucasfilm has been hit with a breach of contract lawsuit over the upcoming Acolyte. Ballers executive producer Karen McCarthy has taken the Kathleen Kennedy-run division to court over being pink-slipped from the Leslie Hanlon-created series last year, just a few weeks of work. What makes this action all a bit bitter and telling of streamer competition for top talent is that UTA rep McCarthy was being actively courted by Apple at the same time to help run their eventual Colin Farrell starring PI series, Sugar. According to the March 7th filing, read it here, the Glacier, Will Fink, Howard, blah, 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 deciding to throw her lot in with a potential long-term commitment to Lucasfilm in the Acolyte in early 2022. McCarthy found herself in an employment Death Star with no cash to show for it at the sudden end, it seemed. Or put in bottom-line terms, as a result of its bad faith and wrongful termination, the penance deprived Miss McCarthy of significant employment from which she would have earned millions of dollars over the life of the series. That's crazy. After setting up the corporate pursuit by Apple and Lucasfilm and how McCarthy was the choice for the Acolyte, the jury-seeking complainant details how she got to work quickly on April 7th, 2022, and how a broad strokes agreement full of UK hotel allowances and per diems was sent to her agent David Morris on April 11th. In fact, that email from Morris, the Lucasfilm VP, physical productions, blah, 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 makes a point of them saying, we really want to make this work. Then it all seems to go wrong fast. 2 weeks later, without explanation, without reason, without justification, Lucasfilm told McCarthy it wanted out of the deal. Reached the 12-page filing in Los Angeles Superior Court. By this time, the Apple's offer was gone. Apple had to move on and found another executive for Sugar. McCarthy had neither deal. As disappointing as the new situation is, it seems like McCarthy took the spirit of this being show business and not show friends. Oh, interesting. And made it for the exit, expected to be compensated. That's where things appear to get messy, even by Tinseltown standards. When McCarthy went to Lucasfilm and requested to be paid, Lucasfilm denied that they even had an agreement. Jesus Christ. Even though, one, they had made their offer containing all the material deal points. Tony McCarthy accepted the offer. 3, Lucasfilm had McCarthy start right away. And 4, Lucasfilm sent to McCarthy memorandum in agreement memorializing the terms, including that McCarthy had already commenced work. In further disregard of McCarthy, I feel like I'm a lawyer right now, and a shitty lawyer. And the work she had done already, Lucasfilm ordered to pay McCarthy $5,000 for a single day's works. McCarthy rejected Lucasfilm anemic and insulting offer, and even though Lucasfilm acknowledged that McCarthy had in fact performed work for it, Lucasfilm never paid McCarthy for that work. McCarthy is therefore forced to bring this action to hold Lucasfilm accountable for its egregious breach of their agreement. It's bad faith denial of the agreement and penalties entitled blah blah blah. It'll be really interesting to see how this lawsuit goes. At the end of the day, like, you could consider this maybe just a contract dispute, just kind of like a bummer type situation. But I also just want to remind you that this is in the Hollywood trades. This is in the Hollywood trades, and they even mentioned the other article about the bad news for Lucasfilm, man. And so, like, I don't know exactly what is going on, but it seems like Lucasfilm is, like, in some really bad situations that people are reporting on. It's gotten to the point where the brand is so, I think, hurt and diminished that maybe Deadline and these other people actually feel like it's a good idea, not a bad idea, to actually go directly at them. I don't understand if this is like fully stuff. Like, there could be so many different layers to like why this is happening. Is this to position the exit of Kathleen Kennedy as a more positive thing? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so weird that you're getting these kind of articles. And it's like on the one hand, yeah, Kathleen Kennedy, I think, has had 7 different movie projects fall through. And it seems like it has to be absolutely horrible over there. But it's weird now that, like, there's a real-ass lawsuit about it, and they wouldn't even pay the lady. I don't know I don't fully understand it, but I think it's at least worth talking about and bringing up, because it's like, dude, this is another big thing that everybody's talking about today. Everybody's, like, retweeting and being like, oh, man, Lucasfilm. And, man, I've been saying for a long time, it's not a good company, dude. The culture over there is broken, and they treat people really shitty. There are several stories that I've been told about people that have worked with Lucasfilm that I cannot divulge, that I cannot talk about, because some people have signed NDAs and things like that. But I will just say that they're fucking up. They have a horrible culture. They're screwing up in multiple ways, including working with their own talent. It's a bad look, dude. It is so hard, man. It is so hard to get excited to talk about Star Wars when stuff like this just keeps happening, keeps coming out. It's rough, dude. Why they do this? Why can't they just be chill, bro? You know? Why can't they just be chill? How good were those episodes last night, though? So good, dude. So good. Incredible stuff. The trades knew what they were doing, dropping this on a Tuesday before Mando. It is kind of wild, right? Not to mention the huge issues on the set of Skeleton Crew reported by Ward. Okay, did he report on that? Yeah. That's kind of one of the things I was thinking about in my head. Bro, they were like, with Skeleton Crew, they were like, we need another show, and we need it now. And then they just literally treated people and rushed the production, just cut every corner imaginable. Horrible, bro. Horrible. Horrible. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. Yeah. The money machine. And it's just, I think at this point, man, like, it's at a place where everybody thinks that Lucasfilm needs massive changes. And like, is Kathy going one of those things? For sure. But I would even take out a lot of people. Like, Lucasfilm needs a cleanup of like a lot of people, not just Kathy, but like a lot of executives over there. There are like a lot of creative people, I think, at Lucasfilm that are fantastic. Fantastic. Many of them probably even carried over from the Lucas years, right? Like your Doug Changs and obviously Dave Filoni and all these different things. Like, you've got some really good, talented people over there. But I think you need to clean house on those executives and signal a true culture shift for Lucasfilm. And one of the things I'm most interested about, like how Disney's going to approach the next couple of years, is Disney as a company has always had this philosophy of like, never let them see you shit your pants. They always try to spin it as though it's not that bad. They are the good guys, and they never want to like admit to being wrong. They never hold the O. And I think the Disney brand has been so diminished, and they are facing so many problems right now, that I'm almost unsure of how you do some branding repair without changing that philosophy. I feel like you have to admit that things are a little bit bad and wrong. And like, you see some of that in like Bob Iger's language as of late, and some of the things he says on the different calls and whatnot. But I don't know, man. It's really interesting. Like, it's going to be really telling in the next couple of years how they approach that problem, because I think it's a big problem. I think it's a big problem. You know what I mean? But shifting into some more positive stuff. John Bernthal, baby, back as the Punisher. Let's fucking go. Here it is here. In the Hollywood trades again, guys. When it gets dropped in the Hollywood trades, it's a big fucking deal. It means it's real. Oh, and by the way, this is what he posted on his Instagram, guys. Bruh. Bruh. Bruh, bruh. Bruh, bruh, bruh. Bruh, 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 bruh. Bruh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And the reason this is so damn cool, man, is we've wanted him back for a long time, right? It's awesome that he's going to be in there. There were some comments made by John Bernthal that make this an especially interesting case because remember, he said, I don't want to come back if it can't stay true to the darkness of Frank. You know what I mean? Like he really signaled that he doesn't want to come back unless it can be dark enough, unless it can really be true to that character, right? And so if he's really back, I think that we have a lot of hope that they're going to go dark enough with it. They're going to let him do his thing. It's pretty cool. So I'm excited about it. However, there is a little bit of a bummer within this article. And I'm curious as to how you guys feel about this. A lot of people were bummed about this. However, other actors from the Netflix Daredevil series are not expected to return. Deborah Ann Woll and Eldon Henson, who played the classic supporting characters Karen Page and Foggy Nelson, respectively, are not on the roll call for the Marvel series. It is also unclear whether those characters will be recast or excised from the story. Yo, Deborah should have kept her mouth shut. She was talking that nonsense all over town, bro. And now she's out. Frog Eater, that's good to know. You know, and honestly, man, like, I believe that, like, because of just the type of person that Dave is. And Dave and John being there, I'm going to go on a little bit of side tangent here. Dave and John being there are my last, like, bastion of hope for the entire company. And I really feel like, again, there are a lot of good people at Lucasfilm. But the corporate structure, the culture over there is just broken and not good. And so they need to signal new. And if it's John and Dave at the head of the company, I'm very confident. I think things could be quite good. The problem is that Skeleton Crew, I believe, is produced by John and Dave. And I can't imagine that John and Dave weren't involved in at least signing off on some of the conditions. I don't know the full truth of that, but Dave, especially with given his position, although it's creative, right? He's on the creative side of things. But like if they're producers, I mean, here's the thing. It's just John that's a producer on it? Really? Okay, well, either way, if it's one or if it's both of them, my point is this. At what point do we say, yeah, well, they shouldn't let that happen? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to say, well, the Ahsoka crew was treated so great. That's awesome. Why are horrible things happening next door? You know? But I hear you, man. I hear you, okay? But yeah, regardless, you're not getting, going back to the Punisher stuff, you're not going to get Karen Page or Foggy Nelson. How big of a bummer is that, do you think? Because for me, like, I personally, just being honest, like, I'm going to miss Foggy more than I'm going to miss Karen. Like, Karen's actually pretty great in the role, but she's also kind of horrible. I don't really think she's good for Matt. I think if the further away Matt is from Karen Page, the better for him. So that's whatever. But Foggy, yeah, man, that's going to hurt. I thought that dude was brilliant as Foggy. For sure. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it all goes. See if they're gone forever or whatever. I don't know. There's no way you like Foggy. What are you talking about? Foggy's brilliant. Foggy's great in that role, bruh. Foggy's so good. I like Foggy. Hmm. Oh, jeez. But either way, it's good. It's good that we're getting Daredevil just in general, but it's obviously great that we're going to get John Bernthal's Punisher back, baby. I'm incredibly excited for that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So overall, a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff, a lot of questionable stuff. Josh just making Dark Crystal noises now. That's about what I'm going to devolve into for sure. Frog Eater says, I still think we'll get either both Foggy and or Nelson. Josh, just because they're not on the roll call doesn't mean that they won't be there later on. That's true. That's very true. Karen and Foggy are good characters. Far from highlights. Yeah, they're good, though. I like them a lot, for sure. I don't know. I don't think they should recast them. Hey, Josh, can we see Babu? Where's he at? There he goes, baby. There he goes. He's never far away. Elijah says, Bo didn't sit in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G. First comes love. Second comes marriage. Third comes a Grogu baby in a carriage. Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, you'll see yourself out. Anthony Carter, nice. Do I think any of the other Marvel Netflix heroes show up in Daredevil? Yeah. Yeah, I think Jessica Jones will. Maybe even Luke Cage as well. Where'd I get this Star Wars shirt? I don't even remember, bro. I don't even remember where I got this, to be honest with you. So I'll probably get into Q&A in a little bit here, guys. But is there anything else like going on in the nerdy world that I missed? I know there's a big drop of Marvel like leaks and rumors. We're going to talk about that in a video tomorrow. Talk about that in a video for tomorrow. What else is going on? Did I miss anything? TMNT trailer? Oh my god, that's a whole thing, huh? It's a whole thing. People going crazy about that trailer, man. I guess April, for some people, April is a pretty sacred, I don't know, bro. Look, my thing is, I think it looks cool. I think it looks fun. It's stylized in a certain way. You know? It's stylized in a certain way. April equal that ain't April, Josh. April equal Jabba. Look, I don't have a big attachment to the character of April from the Ninja Turtles. Really don't have a problem with them. I mean, pretty much doing whatever they want with it. Like, I don't know. Woke Trash says Breezy's Comics and Collectibles. I know that's the thing. And I know for some people, that April thing just is like a fly in your ointment. It is so egregious. And I get it. You know, I try to be empathetic to people that are really bothered by that. I think it's pretty silly. Like, I just think it's pretty silly, dude. Like, imagine, I mean, I guess a lot of the stuff I get mad about is silly as well, right? But I just think it's a particular kind of silly to be like, dude, this cartoon character, this I mean, like, are people really upset that they made her black, or is it the fact that she's like kind of strange looking? But I think that's just the animation style. Yeah. I just don't get it, bro. Like, why are people so mad, dude? Why are they so mad? Legit thought she was called April because she was Irish. Okay. Right on, dude. Like some of the culture war stuff, like, I do understand. And I'm like, oh, I see why you're upset by that. I still think you're probably blowing it out of proportion, but I can at least kind of understand where it's coming from. This April thing, though, like, this feels like the Eminem thing. Like, they're not making they're taking away the sexuality of the M&Ms. It's like, bro, we have really lost the fucking plot. We have really lost the plot when that's what we're getting triggered by. That's what we're getting upset by. It's crazy, dude. April was light skinned in the OG comics. I get it. I get that. But, like, I don't. To me, it's like, why is this fucking debate class? Like, why is this debate class where, like, some dude's gonna show up and be like, well, actually, this story hails from an old English tale about Aprila, who was actually the whitest white person ever. In fact, if she ever was turned not white from any blemish, dark room, and or shadow, the entire... It's like, dude, it doesn't have to be fucking debate class. Who gives a shit? Like... Oh, actually, like, he was married to a black woman and said, I really want April to be black because of my... Who gives a shit? Who cares? I heart She-Hulk show, but I hate the new April. Does that explain things? Hell nah, bro. That doesn't explain shit. I'm even more confused. I know, right? And then the other people will be like, he's woke! He has that opinion because he's woke. I have that opinion because I don't think it's that deep. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that deep. Had to step away for a sec. What did I walk into? Nothing. We're, you know, it's fine. It's just the latest. It's the latest culture war controversy in fandom. Josh equals angry Joe. Oh, Jesus. That's a whole thing, too. Like, I don't fully understand what he's doing right now, either. I'm like, dude, what? Like... Anyway. Let's get into Q&A, man. Let's get into Q&A, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Frog Eater first in today with a $5 house says John Bernthal, Punisher in the MCU and Daredevil Born Again must mean that the show will be TVMA against all odds when it hits Disney Plus in 2024 or 2025. I don't know if I would say it's going to be TVMA, but I think that they will give some violent and some darkness to the Punisher character, which I think is, like, good. Like, that's great. But yeah, I doubt TVMA, bro, but maybe. Frog Eater then says Bernthal said he'd return to Punisher if they keep... Yes, we did talk about that. So Punisher is back. It's got to be TVMA. Again, sir, I don't think necessarily it means TVMA, but you can do dark, you can do violent, you can do damaged, you can do the character correctly, and also not have it be TVMA. Of course, would I love to see a TVMA Punisher? Absolutely, bro. But I don't think that's necessarily what it means. It's also Daredevil's show and not his, to be honest. Ben says with a 10 spot, says, Josh, have you watched the first episode of The Last of Us yet? And if not, how do you know the show is not for you? If you won't, give it a chance. Also, let's celebrate Snore Andor getting ended after season 2. Well, first of all, Ben, yes, we can celebrate Ambor. And second of all, have I not watched? So I watched. Here's what it is, Ben. I'll say it. I probably haven't said this story in a while, so I'll say it here. I watched the intro to the show. Okay, now you have to understand, I have no connection to the show, never played the show, don't really like zombie games, honestly don't really like zombie survival games, not a fan of horror, and I'm not a PlayStation guy. So, like, reason, boom, 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 all these different reasons that I have zero attachment to the show. When the buzz was building for The Last of Us, a lot of people, their whole thing was, holy shit, it is so sad. It's such like beautiful, depressing cinema. You know what I mean? And so I was like, well, that's not really for me either. So yet again, another thing that I just wasn't like into. I wasn't, whatever. I don't like any of that. Now, what happened next was, I think it was the week of episode 2, maybe. It was like late at night, like I couldn't sleep, and I was like, whatever, I'll throw it on. Okay, so I'll throw it on. And I watched the intro, and I thought it was really compelling. And then it opens up on a shot of what I imagine is his actual daughter. And then I just thought to myself, T-minus how many ever minutes until a brutal death of this character? And I thought about like what that means, and I thought about what it would be like watching it and the tension building the whole time as I'm like, oh no, the loss and everything. And I was like, I just turned it off, dude. I was like, this is not for me. I'm glad everybody likes it. I'm glad it's succeeding. I don't have to watch every successful thing. And by the way, nothing that has been said about the show in the subsequent weeks have made me have any desire to go watch it. Like nothing that's been, every week what it is, every week people are like, oh my God, Last of Us. Oh my God, I can't wait. Last of Us is almost here. I can't wait to be fucking depressed again. That's what it is, week in and week out. And you know what? A lot of people like fucking TikTok too. And I'm not on that shit either. Okay? So thank you, Ben. MC Drew says, any streaming? Oh, no, we talked about that earlier. Kyle says, I think Mando would do much better like Hot D. Appointment television like Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Super hype for everything to come. You know what's crazy? I just had a thought inside my head, and we're reaching that time in the stream, and I don't know, maybe I'm just mentally exhausted or whatever, but it's about to get really fucking crazy in here, okay? I just thought in my head, hey, let's do a poll and see if everybody agrees with Kyle that they should drop it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But then my immediate next thought was, of course everybody's going to agree that they should drop it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because it's fucking common sense. What are they doing? Holy shit. Like, does anybody disagree? Anybody that, like, okay, moving on. Chibawee says, wait, what? H-Tone of Marvel Comics' biggest missed opportunities are the Young Avengers. If the stories were more fleshed out, they could be Marvel's Teen Titans. I'm not sure I think you might have a typo in there or whatever. But, yeah, Young Avengers is a good book. I don't know. I hear like different things about them with Young Avengers because I think they were on that train for a good bit of time and they really wanted to do it. But at this point, I don't know how many people are like really attached to any of the Young Avengers. Like, I think the best Young Avengers so far is Kate Bishop, without a doubt. And like, who else? Like, who's the other Young Avengers? Like Catherine Newton from Quantum Mania? Spider-Man? No, he's an Avenger. Love from Love and Thunder? She's all right. Pizza Dog? Sure. Yeah. Iron Lad, but who's Iron Lad? Iron Lad is a comic book character, but there's no Iron Lad in the MCU. Miles Morales, great character. There's no Miles Morales in the MCU. Josh hates that girl. I don't hate her. I think she's a horrible actress. Like, one of the worst actresses I've ever seen. Like, what is, like, I don't understand it. Why is she on my screen right now instead of Emma Furman type of performance? But I don't hate her. Let's not get it twisted. Kid Loki. Babu Frick, 100%. Dude, it's so bad. I'm sorry. Patriot's cool, but, like, we know nothing about Patriot. You know what I mean? Like, if this is them setting up the Young Avengers, I don't know. I'm going to need a little bit more. Hey, you guys are making me be all negative. I told you guys we're going to be positive tonight. I told you we're having good, happy, fun times. And it's all okay. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Taylor White with a $10 holla. It's very generous. Thank you, sir. Says, finally saw Ant-Man in an empty theater blinking it up. Felt like Rick and Morty. Cassie, weakest part of the movie. I watched Mando on the clock at work. ASAP, Puppets for Life. Woo! Puppets for life. Just got here, TLDR. Okay, let's TLDR for Trev. Normally I would never do this, but we'll do it for Trev. TLDR. Star Wars content this week. Really good. Star Wars headlines this week. Abysmally bad. What are they doing? They're horrible. Punisher in Daredevil Born Again. Good. Foggy Nelson, Karen Page, not in it. Bad. That's where we're at. Maybe a little bit of like, Disney's kind of fucked. What are they going to do? They should change things. Thank you, Taylor. Jensen says, both today's episodes were so good. They really were, dude. They really were. They were pretty incredible. Meister says, happy to see you coming around to the idea of Bo as ruler. I freaking love her and would rather Mando keep doing his own thing. By the way, Bo can ride my Mythosaur. Hey, it's a family show, dude. Family show, man. Keep it in your pants. But also, big sames. And yeah, the more I thought about it, dude, I was like, nah, like, I get it. You know, it does make sense for her character. Din really never wanted it. I guess I just hope that, like, Din doesn't get totally bitched out the whole season because he kind of got punked out this episode a couple of different times by Bo. And I hate the idea of, like, you know, making a male character look incompetent or look bad in order to prop up a female character. I'm like, that's not the way you do that. Bo, of course, has a long history, though, of being that bitch. So, yeah. It's a complicated thing, but I've come around to see your side of it. D Murdoch says 8.5 to 9 for show, Papa. Thank you so much, man, and I tend to agree. Brendan DeLampa with a 10 spot says, after the past few years of Star Wars, I'm finding myself struggling to stay excited about any project. I know it's pessimistic / subjective, but I can't be alone in that state of mind. Nerd Vengeance for life. Yeah, I mean, look, it went from like this thing that when you would talk about it, you would be labeled as like a hater or labeled as whatever. It went from being that to people being a little bit more accepting of it to it feels like we jumped forward to this point now where everybody realizes it's bad and things are not going well. You might disagree about the quality of the projects. Like there are probably fans that like Andor more than Mando. There are fans that like Mando more than Andor. But I'm pretty sure every single Star Wars fan looks at the total of what Star Wars is doing right now and would have to agree it's not doing well. It's crazy that we got to this point. Like, it didn't have to go down this way. You know, like, Yeah, dude, it's just fucking crazy. Baron Zemo says, as a huge Marvel shill, the news about Karen Page and Feige not being in Born Again absolutely destroys all my hype and hope for the MCU future. Oh my god, that's a little over the top. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, you know, I understand Marvel's on shaky ground, but it cannot be the case that Foggy fucking Nelson and Karen Page not being in the show, especially in that same article when they're talking about John Bernthal Punisher being in the show. It cannot be the case that that's the thing. That's the thing. Now you're done because of that? My guy, you must choose a better hill to die on. I usually say everybody's entitled to their opinions. Not this time. That opinion must be taken back, and you got to go figure out a better opinion. Okay, moving right along. Victor says, episode was dope. Bo-Katan is the Mandalorian now. I suppose she is. All right. Blue X says, yo, happy 7 months. No Adventures for life, baby. Appreciate you, Blue X. Really do, man. Darth Shibby, always good to see you, says, will they have to call it the Realisar now? Got CW vibes from the Mando episode, though. What? I think Bo is sitting on the fence with the path she's going to take. CW vibes? What do you mean by that, Shibby? What do you mean by that? What the hell? Oh, Clone Wars. Okay, thank God. I thought you were disparaging it by saying CW channel. Like the Arrowverse. All right, cool. No, we're good. We're good. We're good, Shibby. We're good. The real Osar, because it's not a myth anymore. That was clever. That went over my head at first. I'm gonna be honest. That went over my head. I haven't had enough sleep. Appreciate you though. Donnie says, Rian Johnson, it's gonna be a huge no from me, dog. Bro, what are you talking about? Here's what it looks like. Here's what the future of Star Wars looks like, okay? 2025, you're going to get the Miss Marvel director. Talking about Rey Strikes Back. It's going to be awesome. Then you're going to get Taika Waititi. Starring Taika Waititi in a Star Wars. Redefining how it all goes. Talking about the silly Jedi, magical powers, blah, 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 blah. It's pretty much dead after that. Then, to really put those final nails in that coffin, you're going to get Rian Johnson's trilogy. That's what it is. That's what you've got to look forward to. Josh equal Grace? What does that mean? What does that mean? We're having like a really positive, fun stream here. Wow, I'm depressed now. Thanks. Yeah. You're entertaining me very much tonight. Thanks, Mike Porter. Appreciate you, brother. What the fuck? I hope you're joshing. I hope they're joshing. Oh, the voice? Was that like a Grace-esque voice that I just did? Interesting. The Ray Awakens. RJ Phillip with a $15 holla. Not only is that generous, it's also a very strange amount. I usually don't see 15. Holders of L's. This is what we've come to. Bad Batch episodes killing it. Mando coming hard. Pause. We have to deal with this trash BS. Love you, Josh. Great hot takes. Disney seems like they want to lose. Yeah, it kind of seems like that. Kind of seems like that, huh? My God. If I could ask Kathleen Kennedy one question, right? It would literally be, what is you doing? Like, what is you doing? Holy shit. Blue Eyes Gamgee says, Din and Bo draw many similarities to Snow and Khaleesi. You know what? That is an interesting one. That is an interesting one. Y'all shipping that? Y'all shipping that? I wonder if he'd take the helmet off then. You know? Like, she's like, just take the helmet off. He's like, this is the way, though. She's like, this is not the way. Take off the helmet. I wonder. I say, dude, they should just do that. Why not? Oh, thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm shipping it, dude. I say let's get it. Good power couple. Cheese Steak says, what's up, homie? What's up, man? Frog Eater then says, I wouldn't say all of Lucasfilm working conditions are toxic. Ward said Filoni treated the crew on Ahsoka like they were in an oasis of paradise. I believe that. And I got a lot of love for Dave, man. But you just kind of can't deny that, like, that culture's broken over there. It's just not good, man. And I think they'll either get both Foggy and or Nelson because they're not on the roll call. Doesn't mean they won't be there later on. Yeah, maybe they'll put them in there. But again, it being in the trades, that's like a 99.9% there. Elijah says they're sitting in a tree kissing. Then comes, yeah, we already went over that. Old Head Mike says, I absolutely need the adventures of Happy and Foggy. Ooh, that'd be kind of fun with those two together. I'd like that. Damn it. Baron Zemo says, oh, yeah, we already went over that. Being a shill, Foggy and Karen not being in Born Again destroys my hype and confidence in Feige and the MCU future. Yeah, we already went over that, dude. It's too much. Vito says, I have a new crush on Katie Sackhoff. That sexy walk with the Mandalorian armor on. I want to put her up on the wall, but not as a trophy. Oh, my God. Thirsty Veeds, man. That's some thirst. Damn, Vito. Bop, go to horny jail. That's what we say to that. Yova, good to see you, man. Says, yo, Josh, yeah. Love to see the OG from Marvel Netflix back in action in the MCU. John Bernthal is the Punisher, joining Daredevil and the others too. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah, brother. Thanks for 29 months, too. That's crazy, man. Thank you so much. And how about that game Doc was playing today, huh? Looks kind of fun. I'm kind of excited. D. Murdoch says, I don't know why the writers of Daredevil on Netflix are writing Echo when they could just be writing Daredevil. But I know what Bernthal said, and that gives me hope. Yeah, same. And that is kind of an interesting point. I didn't really think about that too much. It's kind of a prelude to Echo, and I think Kingpin's in the Echo, and I think Daredevil's in Echo too, so it's something like a reunion. Purple Funk says, could the Punisher be Kingpin's enforcer in DD? I doubt that. I suppose it's possible, though. I doubt that, though. Second Son. Oh, wait. What about a live-action HBO Max GTA series? I mean, that could be cool. That could be fun. GTA is pretty wild. Second Son says, how can you appreciate cinema if you can't be sad? Oh, no, I can definitely be sad, and there are some great movies. Like, I'm trying to think of a really sad movie that I really like. I don't know. I can't really think of any, man. What's like a really good movie that has a really sad ending, or that just gets you sad a lot? Logan's sad for sure. Marley and Me, that's actually a surprisingly really sad movie, and I didn't like it. Deer Hunter's pretty sad for sure. Legends of the Fall, pretty sad. Schindler's List, sad. Interstellar. Scarface. The Blade Trinity? The fuck, dude? You did not understand the assignment. Notebook. Okay, right on, Roy. So I really like one of my favorite movies is a movie called Schenectady, New York. Okay. And no, I didn't just make that word up. It's an actual film. And, oh, you know what's a really good example of this? Another movie that he wrote called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Very sad movie. Very sad movie, but very good. So that's a great example. Schenectady, New York is a movie about this very depressed guy, and it's a really sad, like, fucked up, like, look at life. Like, what is life? Like, what is it to be human and all these different things, right? It's really crazy. But after I watched Schenectady, New York, despite it being a very sad film, my spirit is usually lifted. I actually usually feel great after watching that movie. It's such a weird movie that talks about like how absurd life is. And yet I usually leave watching that movie feeling like elated. The Fountain's pretty sad. The Fountain's sad, yeah. The Road. Dude, what a good movie. The Road. Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time. Looper's kind of sad, yeah. Have I seen I'm Thinking of Ending Things? No, I have not. A Beautiful Mind is sad for sure. Yeah. Yeah, so there's some movies that are sad that I enjoy. But again, like, there's just a lot working against my potential enjoyment of The Last of Us, right? Like, I don't like horror. I don't like zombies. I don't like action, or I don't like those kind of survival type games. I don't have a PlayStation, never played the games, you know, all these different things. So it's just like, I don't have any real draw to see it. And then everybody was like, oh, but it's so good. And I checked it out. I attempted it. And I just saw what it was going to be from like a mile away. And I was like, I'm not feeling that. That's just not what it's not what I'm about right now, dude. It's not what I'm about. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of zombie stuff, dude. All right, anyway. How can you critic cinema if you won't feel pain? I think I explained it already, okay? Elijah says, Mando gets hero's death, saving Bo-Katan from Big Bad, wounding the Big Bad. Bo-Katan now alone in the fight finishes off Big Bad. Now Saber is hers. Yo, real talk, I'll be pretty upset if they kill off Din Djarin, though. I don't think they would, because like they're making all these comments about like how good it is and how they want to do the show forever, and it's like the coolest, dopest shit ever, and they're gonna do it forever. Can you imagine if they killed him off? Oh, I'd love Vigo as Doom. Mando! Did I hear it? No. No, you don't say that, Anthony. I'm going to see the new stream only because I live in New York City. Wait, what? I don't understand. Oh, new scream. Oh, okay. But yeah, that would kind of upset me if they just literally kill him off and then she takes over and then there's like a new show and all that sort of stuff. I'd be like, oh, okay. Czech Republic with a 10 spot says, John Bernthal's manager posted something saying, look forward to working with you in Marvel's Phase 5 and added a sniper web emoji after that, seemingly proving he will be in Spider-Man 4. Oh, yeah, I've heard he will be in Spider-Man 4, although it's rumor for now, like nothing confirmed, of course. But yeah, it would make sense because Daredevil Born Again is supposed to set up stuff that will happen in the Spider-Man 4 movie. Spider-Man 4 is supposed to be like Spider-Man and a lot of like ground level heroes, maybe dealing with Wilson Fisk as the mayor of New York City and him like outlawing superheroes and all this other stuff. It's all pretty tentative at this point, but that's like a lot of what the rumors are. So that would be sick, dude. Koopa Sellers says, how come 5 years was 5 hours in the quantum realm for Scott when he was trapped for 30 years, but 30 years for Janet when she was trapped? It's because of the time vortex. I understand where you're coming from with this, Cooper, but that one actually is explained via the time vortex. Because Scott was in a time vortex. You dig? MCU Drew says, curious what you think from this stream. Did you give more focus to the current great Star Wars content or the negatively future possible headlines? Curious what you think from this stream. Did you give more focus? Probably to the horrible headlines. That's what it feels like anyway. Like I really like the Mando stuff, but I feel like the focus is on the negativity. You know? Josh, tell me to get off the stream and do my homework. I need your approval to leave. I don't make the rules. I guess I should tell you to go do your homework. Homework good. You should probably go do it. Brandon DeLumba says, talk about what box you could fit Cox in. The fuck? Porter says, you're entertaining me very much tonight. Appreciate you. Thank you on that. And then you followed up and said, I can't wait for JoJo Vader. Oh, jeez. Oh, Jesus. Charles David Atkins with a $10 holla. Thank you for that, man. It says, do you think Rebel Moon will put pressure on Star Wars to court the adult audience? I don't know. I would say, I actually hope not. Because I don't think that's a solution. That's part of the reason why I don't like Andor. I don't think it's just the move to like kind of do a totally different thing for Star Wars. Star Wars has like a million problems at this point. And, you know, I don't even know. Like, it would take Star Wars just winning over and over again for a while, I think, to overcome a lot of this stuff. And at this point, like, Disney Star Wars, especially like normies and whatnot, like I feel like it's really seeped into just the public discourse to the point where people are like, no, like Disney Star Wars bad. And they would need to overcome those sort of more negative feelings about it. And at the end of the day, even if you don't like, because there's certainly a bunch of people that think, oh, well, it's bad because it's woke and, you know, culture war people. But I think there's just like a ton of people that just feel like it's over commercialized and it's just not like what it was before. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like that criticism and that sort of baseline negativity is so difficult to overcome. And it's just crazy. It's crazy that they don't see it. They have no idea. I mean, like, the writing is on the wall every which way. And yet, they don't seem to be able to see it. You know? It's wild, man. It's wild. But no, I don't think that Rebel Moon will put the pressure on them in that sense. What I hope, if anything, this is what I hope for Rebel Moon. If Rebel Moon captures the zeitgeist, it should first of all put a lot of pressure on them in the sense that they're like, yo, there's still an audience for this type of stuff. And we need to recapture that. You know, we need to recapture that. But also, you think about Zach, right? And Zach's been so intelligent in the way that he's built up his like fan base online and just navigated the past couple of years, you know, as a personality. And he's just always like a consummate professional. I'm not saying that his fans are, but he's always very professional. And if it really does blow up and people really want to root for him and go check out his stuff, maybe then in the PR sense, Lucasfilm would understand and be like, man, like, maybe we can learn something from this guy. And perhaps even court or bring in other creatives that have like a built-in fan base that are able to speak intelligently to like all the fans, maybe? I don't know. Michael says, I'm disappointed about Foggy Nelson and Karen Page not being in Daredevil, but Star Wars for me is sadly gone. It's dead. And Adam, again, thank you so much for the $2 there, brother. Greed Pack says with a 10, with the 2-year time gap between seasons on Mando, there is no way Luke stayed on the planet only training Grogu for that long. Could we see Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, and Grogu on missions in new shows? So there is a rumor that you will get maybe some shorts, not YouTube shorts, but like short films of Luke, Han, and Leia together. Let me ask you guys, like, what would you think? Would you be into that? Chat, let me know, yes or no. Would you be in to some Disney Plus Luke Skywalker, Leia, and Han Solo? Would you be into it? See, like, you're definitely still getting some people that are into it, and you're definitely still getting some people that are excited, but, like, you can see there's some people like, nah, Or some people are like, it's too late. I think it's something they should have done a while ago. I still think that if done correctly and if it's really good, you will get a bunch of people to check it out and enjoy it. But at this point, like, that's not... I'll tell you this. This is what I think, in all seriousness. If they don't address a lot of the other issues, including, like, just really the sort of culture of how they discuss the content with the fans... I don't know that any particular project is going to be good enough or big enough to get back some of the fans. It's a tough spot. Like, at this point, like, when I think about where Marvel's at, I think Marvel could pretty easily turn the corner on this. They have, like, different... Oh, thanks, Shibby. Aren't you supposed to be doing your homework, though? Thank you so much. Like, Marvel has a little bit of an out via just the comics situation. Marvel also has a million things coming down, so they can slow down. They could essentially slow everything down and just take a little bit extra time with a ton of stuff that they already have greenlit. So it's not like Lucasfilm where they're like, what the fuck's this next movie? You know what I mean? Marvel has also not had a lot of these public... Like, I don't even know what you want to call it. Like, Feige doesn't play culture war stuff. Like, maybe behind the scenes he does. Some people think he's, like, woke or whatever. It's like, whatever. You know, you're free to say that. But they let, Letitia, they tried to quell that. They tried to protect her from that. And then Evangeline Lilly as well. They try to, like, protect her from that. They try to protect James Gunn from, like, the culture war stuff. So they seem to, like... not play like strictly just one side on the culture war and be totally detached from all of that. And I think it's a much better strategy. Although I am a little bit, and Veed, that's so generous, man, with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much, bro. I'm a little bit concerned on how Marvel's going to navigate the sort of political stuff that they're getting into next year with like President Red Hulk and, you know, American supremacy and these ideas, right? So... we'll see, but I have a lot more faith in Marvel's ability to turn the corner than I do Star Wars. I'm just so nervous about Star Wars, and it's like every time a new story comes out, I'm just more concerned, man. I really, it's so weird to me that like I'm so into what John and Dave are doing, and I love Mandalorian. I really wish they were just doing everything, really. And it's so strange to be so conflicted where I'm like, yeah, I love this shit and I love these guys and like, let's go. And yet also, so much damage has been done. So much damage has been done, dude, you know? Yeah, but thank you for that. Let's Rock says, I pledge not to watch Rian Johnson's trilogy unless it features a redeemed Reva as the main protagonist. Dun, dun, dun. Why not, dude? Dr. Stinky says, hot take. I don't care. I love MODOK and Ant-Man 3. Well, you said Aunt-Man 3, but... right on. Greed says, and Cat still French's booty. Okay, right on, brother. Vandolph the Black says, Ryan is going to make a fire film. Killed The Last Jedi to make his own trilogy epic AF. Better than Rebel Moon. Snyder, take lessons for a real trilogy. Damn, that's a hot take. That's pretty hot, bro. Careful not to burn yourself, because that's a hot take. The Exodus says, if Bo was on the fence before, she's not now. By saving Mando, she dipped into the living waters. Symbolism of the direction of her arc, I think. Ooh, I like that. I like that, man. Well said. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Mikkel says, so someone last night during the watch party said they should add a Darksaber emoji, but I also think you should make a purple saber as well for the Tokevengers. Much love and blessings to you. Yeah, we'll look into all of that. Damn, Shibby gifted again. My goodness. My goodness. I ain't never getting this homework done. Yeah, probably not. Thank you for the support, though. Mariana says, big L for Lucasfilm firing a female producer, and then news comes out on International Women's Day of them getting sued by her. Oh, the irony. Yeah, that is true. That is true. The irony is there, man. It's also so, I mean, we shouldn't, like, if you want to go down the irony train, it is kind of fascinating that, like, the Force's female Kathleen Kennedy lady also, like, fired Rogue Squadron Patty Jenkins. Like, they couldn't work together, dude. It's just so... I mean, there's no shortage of irony over there, and it seems like Kathy, and, like, again, I think Kathy's just kind of a boomer. I think she's just kind of a boomer that doesn't understand, like, why this looks so bad. But she's been looking bad for, like, years, dude. You know what I mean? Nevins27 with a 10 spot says, do you think Disney Star Wars does focus groups or data analysis to get viewer sentiment? No, they don't. Can't imagine a huge company that wouldn't do that, but they have no idea what the fans actually want to see. Yeah, so they don't. So it's kind of interesting that you say that, because Marvel really tests a lot of their films extensively. Like, they do a lot of screening. They get a lot of feedback from audiences and different things, and Star Wars doesn't. Like, classically, The Rise of Skywalker had 0 screenings, maybe like 1 screening, and this is done to try to preserve leaks. They don't want leaks or spoilers and stuff like that, right? But it's like, bro, maybe do a little more quality control. Like, seriously. So no, I actually don't think they do that. Blue Eyes, crap. Blue Eyes Gamgee with a 10 spot says, for real, she wants to rule and he doesn't, although he should be the ruler. Introducing a love story that can do very well. Go bad, Khaleesi. Bomb to cheeks parody, bruh. Even them having control of those creatures. I must be missing what the emojis together mean, but right on. MCU Drew says Snyder loves zombies. Hater. Well, that's one zombie film that I've actually watched because I love Zack Snyder, so I had to check it out. And it is terrifying, dude. Dawn of the Dead is terrifying. That opening scene. Oh my God. Y'all ever see Zack's Dawn of the Dead? Whoo! Whoo! That's a scary movie, dude. And then the way that it ends. Yeah, James Gunn wrote that script. Yeah, he did. He did. What are you trying to say, Jake? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? That he ain't a liar? What you trying to say? Huh? Harris says, do you think DBZ will ever come back to live action? No. Maybe. Maybe a small chance, but no, probably not. I mean, look, Toriyama, it'll never happen if Toriyama's alive. And I don't even know what Dragon Ball will look like when Toriyama goes. That's a whole different thing. But no, Toriyama will never let that happen as long as he's alive, dude. No way. Ross says, how about the fact that Bo is supposed to be 60? I think she's actually much younger than that. I think that's a common misconception. Wasn't she just talking about that? Weren't they just doing interviews about that? Somebody in chat help me out here. How old is Bo-Katan supposed to be in this series? She's 47? Damn. She looks good. Either way, Ross, she's definitely been staying on her Pilates. Did anyone claim the gift cards? Drop some coin. No, I've been looking for the names in chat. It's the dude on the phone and then Omeron. So I've been looking for the names, but no, I haven't seen them. Okay, Elijah says, can we all nod our heads in agreement that Mandalorian biology isn't exactly human, so Bo's older canon age doesn't matter. Maybe they'll live to 200. Maybe. Maybe she's only like 42. I think I remember her saying that she's much younger than people think in the show. Pretty sure. I love her, but she could have been aged up a bit. Oh, okay. So you're coming at it from the angle where you're like, she should look a little bit older. Interesting. RJ Phillip with the 10 spot says, evening streams are different, awesome, and wild. You're getting silly tonight, and we like it. Definitely glad to be here for it. We all enjoy your honesty about the fandom. Babu is never far away. Mando. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. 69 doing Kegel exercises. What the fuck? Yeah, it does get a little wild. I like getting wild in the streams, you know? And when I was thinking, oh my God, we've been going for like 2 hours. So when I was thinking about doing this stream, because it's been a long day, been working on a lot of different things, and I was like tired or whatever, but I was like, nah, like we're going to do it for the gang, man. We're going to get on stream. I'm going to bring good energy, and we're going to have a fun, entertaining time. Okay? So that's what we're doing. Shibby Veed again, thanks so much for the gifted. James says, hey Josh, doesn't Grogu have some kind of power with other animals like he tamed the Rancor? Reckon he could help tame the Mythosaur? It's possible. What are you trying to say? That Grogu's going to be the one? Grogu will do it and then he'll be on top of the thing? That would be interesting, huh? Brian Clark says, do you think Star Wars loses normies by jumping around the timeline with their stories? When I try and watch with my family, they're always confused. Yeah, I think that's part of it for sure. I think that's part of that. They took it to a whole new level, though, with the Boba Fett thing and Grogu and all that. So, yeah, I think so, man. I think every little barrier to entry, bad. Chill in the Basement says, what's up, Papa Josh? Two things. First, Bad Batch was better than Mando this week, in my opinion. Second, got my shiny badge. Diamond Lounge, baby. Nerd Vengeance for life. Hell yeah, brother. Glad to see you with the Diamond Badge. We'll get you into the lounge for sure. And I would have to agree, even though I love both episodes, I'd have to agree. That Crosshair episode was fantastic, man. The vibes and the music, dude. I love the music. And it just hits, man. Steve McTee says, the great phase Twitter, Divinity Seeker, has been getting some scoops correct before they come out. Have you noticed? Thoughts? You know, my thing is, I don't actually believe Divinity Seeker, but he or she has gotten some stuff right. And if they are right about some of their more recent stuff, then they've got some sources that, like, not a lot of people have. So that's really interesting. But here's the thing. The Great Phase, or the Divinity Seeker rather, said that John Krasinski is Reed Richards, and like a lot of people are saying like, nah, bruh, like that's not no. So we'll see. Sozin says Luke in live action is super expensive, but why have they not done an animated series in Clone Wars style? Wasted potential. Dave would crush it. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, 100%. It would be cool to see. Elijah says, so cool to see all the love in the chat tonight. In the chat tonight. I agree. Jose says, did anybody claim the gift cards? Drop some coin. All right, I'll drop some coin. I'll drop it like it's hot. Just for everybody that's here, because you guys are so damn cool. 15,000! 15,000! Steve Starenko says, what's up? Hey, what's up, Steve? Hope you're doing well. It better work. I know, sometimes it doesn't work. I'm sorry. Give it some time, though. Maybe it doesn't work right away, but it'll work later. What else is going on? Is there anything else that we should talk about? Any other crazy news? Kristen Ritter will return as Jessica Jones in 6 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, but that's not a great account, but it's probably true. Oh, you guys want to see something kind of cool? Want to see something cool? Venom 3 or The Amazing Spider-Man 3? I would do Amazing Spider-Man, but there's actually new Venom 3 leaks that I'm probably going to cover in a video soon. Check this out. Can you see the base? That's really what I'm trying to show you. I figured out the new base that I'm going to do for my whole army. So I'm slowly converting all of them to this base. Kind of cool, huh? Yeah. I'm going to do some of that tonight, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a black obsidian kind of thing. It's like a it's a couple of things together. So it's like these foam stones. And sometimes I like break them up and like crumble them on the base and then just drop a bunch of glue on them. That's based. Good one. And then I have this like texture that I put over it. And then I do a wash on top of the texture to give it that like obsidian look. So it's pretty cool. Still gotta put yours together. Aw, shit. Mm-hmm. That's true, John White. Maybe we'll think about that for sure. So essentially, it's bringing out the creator and you out? A little bit. Yeah, I mean, it is a little involved, but it's part of the joy of Warhammer is like really caring for your own army, like assembling it, you know, painting it. So I am reek. Thinking about getting into the hobby, but I'm a little scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. My buddy's getting into it too. And I'm like, yes. I may or may not have bought him some Tau and was just like, hey man, you know, if you're ever feeling it, you know, here's some Tau to paint up. And now he's like finally like getting into it, like watching videos on how to play. And I'm like, yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. You know? How far down the 40K rabbit hole have you fallen? I mean, pretty far, man. I love the game. I love the lore. I wish I had more time to play, to be honest with you. I've been very busy. But, yeah, it's great. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm really looking forward to 10th edition 2, which should happen pretty soon this year, actually. Which some of you guys like, what the fuck does that mean? Basically, they're overhauling the game. They're going to make it way less complicated, so that'll be fun. Starbucks greater than Bo-Katan? I don't know what that means, but no. The answer is no. The answer is no. Thanks for the evening streams. Means I can watch live. Oh, Duncan, that's great, man. I'm glad. Have I played Legacy? I have. It's pretty fun. I'm not that into it. Elisa really likes the game. I haven't really like played a ton of it, to be honest. But I can't deny that it's a great game, though. Can't deny it. Okay, I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you all so much. No stream tomorrow. Well, we'll have a Nerdvenger stream tomorrow. We're going to be playing Snap and giving some prizes away, so that'll be really fun. Make sure you come on by for that tomorrow. Let me get this last one here. D. Murdoch says, hey, Josh, since we now have Doctor Strange, Blade, Moon Knight, Punisher, will they announce Ghost Rider soon? Maybe make a Midnight Suns project? That would be great, man. I hope so. And yes, I do think Ghost Rider's on the way. What's for dinner? Already had sausage, pierogies, and vegetables. It was incredible. Yeah. All right, everybody, much love. I'll see you guys tomorrow if you're a Nerdvenger. If not, I'll see you on the Friday stream. as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. You know what's funny? MK Matt is just put that in there about Campia. I actually heard that and I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, dude, what is this guy like just literally trolling me? Like that feels like a personal attack. Holy shit, Campia. All right, anyway, see you guys. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Well, I'll tell you one person that didn't leave, and it's Kathleen goddamn Kennedy. Why? What the fuck? Guys, it's so crazy. It's so difficult to do Star Wars content. I can't believe it. Seems to be a lot to suffer. When will this nightmare end? When will we get the dopest dope stuff and not have any more bullshit ass stories about how the fuck Oh, look, as long I'll tell you this. Maybe if Tony Gilroy really takes over for Kathleen Kennedy and they actually put a person that says I actually don't like Star Wars as the president of Star Wars, that'll just be it. That'll be like the ultimate solidification of like, oh shit, we're in a fucking simulation. And by the way, I'm done with Star Wars. That'll be the day. That'll be the day. I'm so happy to be the president of Lucasfilm. By the way, I really don't enjoy Star Wars and can't wait for everything to be super adult now. And, you know, we're chasing the audience right out of the fucking auditorium. It's quite enjoyable to me. Guys, you know the drill. Open up your third eye. Wash out your stinky butts. I'll see you in the next one.